Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto and welcome to your daily update. On Bitcoin, we have a lot to talk about. Yesterday was very volatile. We already in the update yesterday in the afternoon, so the middle of the day market update. We already talked about that briefly. Where what we had yesterday is we had a positive inflation rate and CPI data. So that was great. So then we pumped, but with the pump, I mean, personally, I already was a little bit cautious because after that pump, the truth still is that the volume was still relatively low, right? So the volume right now is $36 billion. I would say that's high, all right? That's at least in these market circumstances, that's good. But that's also because we had some major volatility. And yesterday after the pump, if you want to see a real pump, so if a pump is a really bullish momentum, then the volume actually is much higher than what it was. I mean, yesterday the volume was up to like 30 billion, but 30 billion is not that much. I mean, that's also what we had last week, for example, before we had a dump. So that's relatively normal volume. So then you get a move after good news with relatively normal volume. So that's a bit weird, because after good news, if we were actually going to be bullish, you would expect more volume. And the markets were quite illiquid still. And then apart from that, yesterday evening, we also still had the interest rate decision and just in general the press conference afterwards. And what we heard there is that, all right, well, they acknowledged that the inflation rate was lower than expected, but they still need more data and more proof that the inflation rate is dropping down more sustainably for them to cut interest rates, which is what we want to see. So that was relatively bearish. So that's why we dropped down, in combination with the fact that that bullish move maybe couldn't be trusted too much. But that brings us to a bit of a difficult situation where technically we are in this consolidation range between 66 and 70,000, where we deviated from twice, right? So we had a bit of a fake out here. We had a bit of a choppy situation here. So that's all, I mean, noise. I think we really need to break above 70,000 with volume if we want to turn bullish. And at this moment, and that's kind of the tough situation right now, is that we have to wait for that confirmation. And what I said on Twitter as well to someone is that at this moment, I don't really see a lot of confirmation that we can be bullish. Because if you want that, you need positive fundamentals, which with the news yesterday, I mean, if you look at the dollar strength index, that actually recovered quite a bit. So that's neutral. There's no bullish momentum coming from the monetary policy of the US. And then apart from that, it's also the summer. The volume is not that great. If you look at the momentum we have, that has dropped down a lot since, overnight as well, but also yesterday, of course, after the news. So we don't have to look at the momentum for some sort of a boost. So I think it's best to assume we're going to be choppy and we're going to be moving sideways. And if there's no momentum, if there's no positive fundamentals to expect some sort of a bullish breakout, I think it's most likely, or I think it's better to assume that we'll get a bearish breakout at some point of time. So for now, I expect this. I don't necessarily expect us to get a breakout today or tomorrow, but ultimately, I do think it's more likely we'll drop down towards 65 and 64,000 down here, where we have a strong support level. Now, like I said, it's difficult to say because we need more technical confirmation, and it would also be great if we have some fundamentals that matter. So, for example, today we have initial jobless claims and continuing jobless claims. If we see that those are higher than expected, for example, that could be bullish. Then we could see a bearish dollar strength index because the combination of that with the CPI and the inflation is pretty good for the future of monetary policy for the US. That could be bullish for Bitcoin. But for now, I just expect sideways movement and a reaction to that news for today. All right. So if you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments, of course. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.